welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, I'm wearing my Batman shirt today, which is highly appropriate because I want to talk about something related to the Batman v Superman film, and that is not Batman, but actually Superman. And one particular concept that I was thinking about, the film doesn't really explore this. I don't blame them, they didn't have a lot of time to cover everything. But the one particular aspect I've been thinking a lot about lately is the fact that I don't think the modern state would be very friendly to a superhuman being, a Superman or a Superwoman, if they turned up in our midst all of a sudden. I think the state would actually view them as a potential enemy, as a real threat, and that they would, even if they might put on a friendly face, that they would do everything in their power behind the scenes to try and find a way to take power back and to be able to control the super being. Why do I say that? Well, it's not simply because governments don't like competition. It's the simple fact that the modern state now is sort of predicated so much on this idea of control and the idea that the state or the government, even if this is sort of subconsciously accepted by a lot of people, is the highest authority in the land. The state doesn't answer to God anymore. It doesn't. Most politicians sort of view the state as the pinnacle. And they view the state's role as really being about trying to build a brave new world, a brave new utopia, and that means you have to put controls in place. You have to dominate people in order to achieve those ends. But a super being would be totally immune to that. Just think about that for a second. A superhuman being who, if they wanted to, could just stop paying taxes and there would be nothing any government could do about it. They could drive down the wrong side of the road if they wanted to. Nothing you could do about it. They could destroy an entire city block and then build themselves a whole new house on that block and take the property and the land and everything, just steal it from people for themselves. And there would be nothing the government could do about it. They couldn't. No army, no police force, no nothing would be strong enough to deal with that scenario. You would have an individual who is totally coercion free, and not only that, but that individual, I would imagine, would begin to attract a lot of popular public support. I think they would also become a lightning rod for people to be able to criticize and push back against, I think, the state, particularly where the state in modern times, from time to time, it has a tendency to go too far and trying to impose itself on and into the lives of ordinary people. It tries to, it goes well beyond the bounds at times of what the state should be doing. It almost sees itself as a mother at times. That's not the role of the state. It sees itself as there to sort of, as I said, to usher in a better world for everyone. And really, that's not the role of the state at all. And a super being like that, not only would they not be controllable, they'd be totally immune to that sort of stuff, but potentially a lot of people would begin to rally around them and would begin to push back, I think, against the state, because if nothing else, then they might take inspiration from that super being and the fact that they are totally unbound, that they're not bound by all these sorts of things. It's a really interesting concept, and maybe if I'm lucky, in a future Superman movie, they might explore this, or superhero movie, they might really look at this idea, this concept of how the state really would handle a superhuman being that turned up in our midst. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.